So today I will be ranking the top Asian prospects or contenders and their chances of becoming champion. S means they're definitely going to become champion. A means they probably going to become champion, but there's still an off chance. B, they might be. C, they're probably not. D is definitely not becoming champion. Alright, let's get into it. First off, I want to clarify, right? We got Tatsuro Taira, Loner Kavanagh, Joshua Van, Kai Asakura, Kyoji Horiguchi, and Song Yadong. This was meant to be a flyweight list, but Bantamweight basically only has like Song Yadong in the rankings as an Asian motherfucker, so I'll just put him here. It's fine, whatever. And also, I want to note, right? None of these guys are gonna beat the current champion, right? These flyweights are not beating Pantoja. Song Yadong is not beating Merab whatsoever. I'm not gonna rank them like if they beat the current champion. I'm gonna rank them based on if they can become champion over like a vacant belt or like in the future or something, right? Okay, first off, Tatsuro Taira. I think he could be champion. Like, he's still quite young. Hold on, actually, I don't know his age. Tatsuro Taira age. He's 25, yeah, he's still super young. He's basically a fucking baby. There's still so much time to develop, right? People are saying, oh, his striking sucks. It did. Again, we've shown, people were saying, oh, his striking fucking sucks. I mean, it did for a while, but, you know, we saw improvements in his striking, right? We saw him drop Hyung-Sung Park. And by the way, totally impressive victory. I would say that the R word, like, he's, like, sexually assaulted Hyung-Sung Park. Yeah, and that's a crazy victory. Again, he does not beat Pantoja. I think Pantoja is still the better grappler at flyweight. Statistically, these guys are pretty similar, like grappling, right? They're both fucking human backpackers. They both will wrestle fuck you. They both will like put that pressure on you, right? But I think after Pantoja retires, right, Tatsuro Taira has a really good chance of becoming a champion in the UFC. He's still young. He's still like, we're not talking about some guy who's like late 20s or even like early 30s. He's about to fuck. He's like who's already in their prime, you know, and maybe like almost exiting their prime a bit. And we're talking about a guy who has barely entered his prime yet, like Tatsuro Taira. He hasn't even entered his prime fully, right? Like, he's already 60-1. Super close fight with like Royval as well. So with all that said, I'm gonna put him A tier. He's probably gonna be champion. Those are some of the reasons I'm gonna say today, right? We'll elaborate on this later. First, okay. Secondly, Joshua Van. We know he's getting that title shot next against Pantoja. We know that. That's already like booked. It's not booked, but it's settled. It's basically official. It's gonna happen. I think somewhere like 323-25 on the undercard of an Ilya Topuria fight, right? Joshua Van. He does not beat Pantoja. Like, the Pantoja style, in my opinion, is very, very bad for Joshua Van, right? High level pressure wrestling, a lot of pressure, just keeps coming at you, great cardio as well. It's hard for Van to deal with, right? Because in the Ray Soria fight, I know Van did very well in that Ray Soria fight, but he still struck, and he stuffed like basically all, he stuffed a lot of takedowns, especially early. But again, in the later rounds, when Ray Soria started putting that pressure on him, just not giving a fuck, fuck all about the striking, giving fuck all about winning the fight, and just going for the takedowns and maybe get a fluke submission here and there. Van started struggling, you know? He started struggling with just because the constant takedowns, and that's a really good style. I mean, and that's kind of Pantoja's style, just at a higher level and with greater grappling and backpacking. And Van doesn't have that much power in his fist. He did KO Cody Durden. He did drop Brandon Royval, and I think the pillow fist allegations, I think they're over exaggerated. He doesn't have like horrible power. He doesn't have fucking John Jones power, but it's still not very good. Right? And notoriously, Pantoja has a really good chin. Pantoja has an amazing chin, right? Even like a picture perfect uppercut from Davison Figueiredo, the hardest puncher ever at flyweight. It didn't knock Pantoja out, right? It wobbled him. It almost knocked him out. He wasn't out cold though, right? So, like, I could legit see Pantoja just going out there, tanking like all the boxing combinations, all the fucking punches and even knees, to be fair, from Van, and just taking him down, submitting him, probably round 2 or 3, I can't lie. And then after that, okay, and I think that's actually a good thing, because after that, I think we can have the highest level of boxing flyweight has ever seen, with Moreno versus Joshua Van. That's going to be such a banger, right? Again, I'm probably putting him B tier, Joshua Van B tier. I'm a big fan of Joshua Van, right? But even then, I think Tatsuro Taira beats him, because again, he's very similar to Pantoja. High level pressure wrestling as well. But never count out Joshua Van, right? I doubted him a lot. I doubted Joshua Van like a shit ton, right? I doubted him versus Royval. I had a slight bit of doubt versus Durden, right? I knew he was going to win, but I just had that slight bit of doubt versus fucking Cody Durden. And I'm always a big Joshua Van doubter. I love him. I like him as a fighter. I thought Royval was going to beat him by decision, right? But he came out and okay, listen. I thought Royval was going to beat him by decision, and I was almost correct. That fight was extremely competitive, right? If it wasn't for like the last second knockdown that Joshua Van got, Royval would have won that, and then we'd have gotten Pantoja Royval 3, right? So listen, I love Joshua Van. I would be glad if I'm wrong. He could become champion. He's probably not going to be champion. Next one, Loner Kavanagh. It's still really early. It's hard to tell, right? I need to look up his age again. Yeah, he's 26. He's not even that young. He is very young. But like, he's not Joshua Van. He's not Tatsuro Taira young, and he's not as advanced as they are. I've had a lot of friends glaze him based on the fact he's British. like half British, but never mind. Okay, listen, it's way too early to tell if Loner Kavanagh can become champion or not, right? He has pretty good wins. He has wins over Jose Ochoa. He has wins over fuck, dude, what the fuck? Okay, there. Why am I forgetting these guys' wins, bro? I made a whole fucking video glazing this guy. I forgot all his wins, bro. I know he has a win over Jose Ochoa. Okay, Jose. Yeah, he slapped the shit out of Anh Tuấn Ho, a big Vietnamese prospect who's 7-1. He's coming back into the contender series. He's gonna get this. He's gonna get it this time for sure. Anh Tuấn Ho, Vietnam pride. Let's go. He slept Felipe dos Santos. Okay, that's a good win. Again, he has power in his hands. Probably a pretty good style for Pantoja. But he's nowhere near the title contention, and it's still way too early to tell anything. I shouldn't even put him here, to be honest. I should have waited a bit. I'd probably put him same thing, B tier. He's good. He needs more time to develop. Okay, Kai Asakura. Let's just say it that way. I don't think it's because Kai Asakura is gonna. Okay, let's not be that rough. I put in C tier, right? I don't think Kai Asakura is a bad fighter. I just think that he's too old, right? And he just lost to a champion. He needs a big winning streak to get a title shot again. I will say, I think he's gonna like cold Tim Elliott. Poor Tim Elliott. I know Kai Asakura is gonna fucking cold him. It's basically a nothing burger fight. I don't even need to watch the fight. I know Kai Asakura will cold Tim Elliott, right? I don't think he's gonna become champion though. I think he's gonna be a fun fan favorite. It's gonna be a fun gatekeeper. Because again, this guy, he's a fun style. He's an explosive. He has a cool personality with all the cooking shit. He's big in Japan. His brother is bigger in Japan. Like Mikura Asakura, if you didn't know, he's really big in Japan. And Kai Asakura just basically leeches fame off of his brother and in Japan. But now he's his own entity, which is great for him. He's not gonna become champion. He's gonna be a fan favorite. But he's gonna bring a lot of light to Japanese MMA as well as Ryzen overall. He's not gonna become champ. I would love for him to become champion. I think it would be a cool champion. He's not become champion. He's too old. He's not good enough. He already lost to the current champion. Yeah, I just don't see Asakura UFC champion. Same thing with Kyoji Horiguchi. Okay, I could see both of these guys fighting for the belt. He could be fighting for the belt again, right? I don't see them become champion. Same shit applies to the Hooch. He's not becoming champion. He got 50-45 and then submitted by DJ. He has a good run in the UFC. He has some UFC level wins. Let me check this shit. Hold on. Yeah, he pieced up Manel Kape. He did piece up Manel Kape, and then he subbed him. And then he was 7-1 in the UFC, and then he lost to Patchy Mix. But he did. Did he beat Sergio Pettis? I think he beat Sergio Pettis, right? Again, he's 34. He's too old for this shit. He's probably gonna fight like maybe 2-3 years maximum in the UFC. And he's gonna have a cool retirement, and people are gonna love him. The fans are gonna love him. Okay. Next, Song Yadong. Listen, I don't think he beat Merab. Let's get that out. He already lost to Peter Yan. He already lost to Corey Sandhagen. The best matchup for him would be Sean O'Malley. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I just got a notice. One of my appointments got canceled. We have a lot more time now. It's not gonna be long though. Let me check how long we got here. 13 minutes. That's crazy. Okay. Song Yadong. Again, he doesn't beat Merab. He already lost to Peter Yan. Already lost to Corey. Ideal matchup would be Sean O'Malley. I think he probably beats Sean O'Malley. Come on. He probably beats Sean O'Malley. I know Sean O'Malley had that KO over Aljo, upset KO over a grappler, high-level wrestler, grappler, big featherweight, which I guess is Song Yadong, but Song Yadong's way more well-rounded, right? He's not like one-dimensional grappler like Aljo is. I think Song's gonna take him down, unleash some ground and pound. He's gonna beat Sean O'Malley, right? This might be Asian bias. I'm sometimes, maybe most of the times, biased against Asian fighters because we just don't get that much representation in the UFC compared to white fighters or Mexican fighters or Dagestan fighters or Brazilian fighters, right? I'm not even Chinese, right? I'm not even Chinese, I'm not Japanese, I'm not Burmese, I'm not anything of the East. I'm Vietnamese. And the only reason I'm making this video is because we don't have any good Vietnamese fighters in the UFC, right? We have Quang Bang Le, who's 1-2, got his first win. That's really cool. We got Nguyen Van Y coming up on the road to UFC. That's really cool. I think he's gonna knock out Lawrence Louis, one of Izzy's teammates over at New Zealand or Australia. I don't know where Izzy trains, right? Okay, let's get back to the point. Song Yadong. Okay, Merab doesn't have that much time in him, right? He's 34. He's 34, but he's in his prime, right? I think he probably has another good 2 years, not 2, 3 or even 4 years, right? Okay, 4 might be a stretch. 3, let's say 3, right? And in that time, Song Yadong will enter his prime. He's 28 right now. He's gonna be around 30, 31 when Merab starts falling off. Merab starts, lacking in the cardio department a bit. And I think in that time, Merab's gonna lose to Umar. Umar's gonna get the rematch against Merab, and Umar's gonna beat him after a couple years when Merab gets old, right? And I don't know how an Umar versus Song matchup goes. I think if Song develops into a really great fighter in the future and gets rid of a few holes in his game, I think Song could do it. It's not like a crazy out of this world statement, right? Song might do it, but I think Umar is the future of the bantamweight division, and Umar is really good, right? If it wasn't, okay, I think Umar is a future top 5 pound for pound. I don't see Yadong. I just say, oh, Yadong could do it, and I say, oh, he probably can't do it. I'll stick with the fact that he can't fucking do it. He's not beating Umar. Let's be realistic. Umar's gonna fucking piece him up, or out grapple, or fucking guillotine out grapple him. I don't see him beating Umar, bro. I'm putting him in C tier. Fuck it. I was gonna put B tier because he's really good, but nah, he's not beating Umar, bro. Sorry.